Tonight's headlines: PhilHealth pays Red Cross 500 million pesos. Lawmakers not exempt from Duterte's corruption probe. Restriction easing in public transport backed by medical experts. Coronavirus cases in the country now at 373,144. Duterte wants transparency in procurement process. Quinta moves toward West Philippine Sea. PSEi ends 6-day rally. And Peso extends climb. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, October 27, 2020. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation announced on Tuesday that it is settling half of its 1 billion peso debt to the Philippine Red Cross for the cost of COVID-19 tests conducted by humanitarian organizations. The state insurer said it had already released 500 million pesos as partial payment to the PRC. The agency said it will expedite processing of the remaining balance while following strict compliance to government accounting rules and regulations. PhilHealth owes the PRC over 930 million pesos for the COVID-19 tests it conducted. PhilHealth President and CEO Dante said that the agency takes exception to the insinuation that it is reckless and it is playing on people's lives, as its prudence in taking charge of its members' hard-earned contributions is central to the state health insurer. The state insurer's announcement came after the OCTA research group said that the impasse between PhilHealth and the PRC caused a 40 to 50% drop in reported COVID-19 cases in Metro Manila, Cavite, Laguna, and Batangas. Malacanang on Tuesday said that the Department of Justice-led task force may also investigate lawmakers for possible involvement in corruption. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said it was the mandate of the DOJ to investigate everyone and that the immunity granted to members of Congress does not cover crimes under the anti-graft laws, which carry heavy punishment such as life imprisonment. The 1987 Constitution provides that a senator or member of the House of Representatives facing prosecution for crimes punishable by not more than 6 years imprisonment should not be arrested while the Congress is in session. Under the previous Aquino administration, former Justice Secretary and Senator Leila de Lima led the investigation and filing of plunder and malversation charges against lawmakers tagged in the pork barrel scam. In a tape address aired Tuesday, President Rodrigo Duterte authorized the DOJ to decide which allegations of corruption to investigate depending on their gravity and impact on government service. The DOJ may create as many panels as necessary and invite or direct other government bodies to assist in the investigation, and the order will be effective until June 30, 2022, when Duterte steps down from office unless sooner lifted or revoked. The palace stressed on Tuesday that it disagrees with the OCTA research team's projection that the easing of restrictions in the use of public transportation in October is expected to cause an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that the one-seat-apart policy in public transportation was backed by medical experts such as former Health Secretaries Manuel Dairit and Esperanza Cabral. The OCTA is an independent research group made up of experts from the University of the Philippines and University of Santo Tomas. According to the OCTA, the easing of social distancing measures in public transport could trigger an increase in new COVID-19 cases in the National Capital Region in the next 2 weeks. However, Roque said the easing of restrictions also comes with strict observance of health protocols such as wearing masks and face shields, no talking and no eating inside public transportation, no asymptomatic passengers, and adequate ventilation. The palace official stressed that Filipinos will follow strict health and safety protocols because they need to get back to work. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
This is a very important story. the important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
The Department of Health reported 1,524 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Tuesday to bring the total number of infected in the country to 373,144, which marks the second consecutive day where less than 2,000 cases were reported. The areas with the highest number of new infections were Negros Occidental with 115, Cavite with 76, Benguet with 72, Quezon City with 67, and Laguna with 65. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 328,602 after 353 patients have recovered from the illness, while the death toll is now at 7,053 following 14 new fatalities recorded. There are also 37,489 remaining active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, of which 82.9% are mild, 11% are asymptomatic, 2.2% are severe, and 4% are in critical condition. 55% of the country's intensive care unit beds available and 78% of the mechanical ventilators are ready for use. Experts from the OCTA research team have identified 18 areas in the country considered at high risk for COVID-19 based on their high record of daily new cases, attack rate, and hospital occupancy. In other news, President Rodrigo Duterte has ordered government agencies to strictly observe transparency in the procurement of goods and services, since failure to do so will be a ground for administrative sanction. Under Administrative Order 34 signed on October 23, all agencies under the Executive Department, as well as government-owned or controlled corporations, government financial institutions, and state universities and colleges should post relevant information about infrastructure projects on their official websites and social media platforms. The President added that it should include the project title, location, detailed description, winning contractor, start of construction, target date of completion, project status, reasons in case of delay, implementing office, responsible officials and contact details, source of fund, and detailed actual cost of the project. Post-award information such as project name, approved budget, contract period, and the name of winning bidder must also be disclosed to the public. For contracts involving projects with an approved budget of 50 million and above, the post-award information must be published once in a newspaper of general circulation, in addition to posting the same on the respective official websites and social media platforms of the agencies concerned. Last month, Duterte said he wants the government to buy several pages from major newspapers to publish government projects that have been completed or are undergoing negotiation. The State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Tuesday announced that Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 1 is still up over Kalayaan Islands as Typhoon Quinta further intensifies as it moves westward over the West Philippine Sea. In its 5 p.m. severe weather bulletin, the Weather Bureau said the eye of Quinta was located 310 kilometers northwest of Kalayaan Islands, Palawan at 4 p.m. with maximum sustained winds of 155 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 190 kilometers per hour. It is moving westward at 30 kilometers per hour. Pagasa said Quinta will move generally west-northwestward or westward towards the central portion of Vietnam and is expected to further intensify over the West Philippine Sea and reach its peak intensity within 12 hours. It added that light to moderate with at times heavy rains will prevail over western Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Batanes, Cagayan, Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, Romblon, Palawan, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi from Tuesday to Wednesday morning. Pag-asa advised affected residents to prepare for possible flash floods and landslides during heavy or prolonged rainfall. Strong breeze to near gale conditions will also be experienced in Kalayaan Islands, according to the weather agency. Sunrise is at 5:50 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:29 p.m. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
In business, the local main equities index ended its 6-day rally Tuesday due to concerns on the rising coronavirus disease infections in the United States and Europe. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index shed by 1.17% or 76.11 points to 6,415.08, while all the other indices tracked the main gauge, with all shares down by 1.07% or 41.25 points to 3,818.11. Holding firms posted the highest drop among the sectoral indices after it fell by 1.40%, while financials declined by 1.35%. It was followed by property 1.25%, industrial 0.93%, mining and oil 0.60%, and services 0.08%. Rehina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Limlingan said that an additional risk-off factor during the day is the diminishing possibility that another stimulus program in the U.S. will not materialize before the November 3 polls. Volume totaled 6.49 billion shares, amounting to 8.02 billion pesos. Losers led gainers at 117 to 79, while 64 shares were unchanged. And the Philippine peso appreciated further against the dollar on Tuesday as the greenback was dragged by uncertainties over a fiscal stimulus in the United States. The local currency gained 2 centavos to 48 pesos and 375 centavos to a dollar versus Monday's finish of 48 pesos and 395 centavos to a dollar. Tuesday's climb came as U.S. lawmakers continue to deliberate on the planned economic stimulus package with only a week left before the national elections scheduled on November 3. A foreign exchange trader from a local bank said that the Philippine peso followed regional peers as market players continue to watch prospects on U.S. fiscal stimulus. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was reported to have spoken with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin about COVID-19 relief legislation, and she remains optimistic that a deal can be reached before the elections. Michael Aroni, Chief Investment Strategist at State Street Global Advisors in Boston, said that fears about COVID-19 resurgence and the continued failure to reach a fiscal policy package between Republicans and Democrats has investors unnerved. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for my shirt and jacket this evening. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap. Walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One. All in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One. All in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget ang...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... can't say ko salita. Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pong pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.